I refuse to not be first.
Do we do enough? Well, I never shut up about it.
It must have been about 16, 17. We nicked their guilt rings. Right, the bouncers' guilt rings.
This is no good for me. That's the reality. If you want the honest truth, and I see it every day.
Andrew McCART, IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. I mean, I'm back with Josh Taylor. It's been a while, man. It seems like you're doing interviews with Coogan and everybody else, Josh, but me nowadays. But that's all good, mate. How's things?
I've not done it. I've not seen you for a while, Andy. You know, you've not been a bit much of a slag for a while. So you need to get back on it.
I'm still a slag, mate. Don't worry about that. I'm still a boxing whore. Don't worry.
I've not seen you for ages, but it's always good talking to you. You
too, mate. Yeah, I know you're down in Liverpool right now. We've had a good little conversation there before we pushed record. You're in your flat in Liverpool. You're training away there. A few things I want to talk about. I want to talk about, obviously, the injury, because I've seen you back on the pads with Joe McNally. It looks like you're still being static and punching. There's not a lot of movement from your feet. So We'll talk about that. We'll talk about, obviously, I want to talk about the Joshua fight last night. And then we'll talk about the passing of the legend that is Ken Buchanan, because I know how much he meant to you. But we'll save the best till last, which is Ken Buchanan. And I just want to get your thoughts quickly on sort of like the fight last night with Anthony Joshua. I mean, coming back from two difficult defeats against a world-class guy, a pound-for-pound top three in Usyk, and then come back with that win. What did you expect from Joshua, and what were your reactions to last night's victory?
Well, he got the win, which is great. You know, I thought obviously he got the win, which he was expected to get the win. I thought he really should have had him out of there, but he got the win. That's all that matters. So it's a good first win to get back from the two defeats that he's suffered from Usyk. Having said that, I thought that he just looked a little bit gun shy. I thought he looked a little bit sort of hesitant as to what he was doing. I thought he looked a little bit shy, a little bit tight and tense, and sort of scared of getting hit. You know, he looked very tight and tense, and back to sort of very rigid and stiff. Not the Joshua that we've seen before. You know, but the Joshua pre-Usyk stuff would have stopped him, no problem, I think. But I can't be too critical of it. I didn't think he was great. I mean, he got the job done. That's all you can ask for, is to get the job done, get the win. He got the win, so fair play to him for coming back after the two defeats, and you know, sort of coming back from sort of a bit of sort of personal battles. It looks like he's been struggling a little bit mentally, and it's good to see him back anyway. That's for sure. But I didn't think it was an awful great performance. But I can't be too critical. He got the win, and he got the job done. But he did. I thought he just looked a little bit gun shy, and a little bit scared of getting hit. So yeah, he's got a little bit improved. That could be with the new coach and the new setup and that he's got as well. It takes a little bit of time to get that going as well. So it could. There's a lot of things there why it wasn't a great performance, but he got the win, and that's the most important thing.
Mm-hmm. I think as well that a third loss in a row would be devastating for somebody like Joshua, because obviously he needs to be a player in this heavyweight game. I think somebody said it best last night, that the heavyweight division needs a hungry and dangerous Anthony Joshua. And I think that last night, in the back of his mind, because we're all human beings, he was probably thinking, man, if I lose this one, then where do I go? But like you say, he got the job done. I think we were all expecting that spiteful, horrible Anthony Joshua, his first 18 fights, the Klitschko Joshua, the Povetkin Joshua, the Pulev Joshua. I think we were all expecting that, and I guess you were expecting the same.
Yeah, I thought it was going. I thought it was going to come back and be a little bit more aggressive and stuff. Just from the build up, the things that we're saying to each other and things, I just thought, right, he's going to come out here, and he's so much bigger than Franklin as well. Franklin wasn't doing too much either. He was throwing one shot here and there, lunging him with the same attack all the time. And I thought Joshua was going to end up just stepping it up at some point and putting a couple of punches together and getting him out of there. But he never seemed to do it. But yeah, I just think he just looked a little bit, I don't know, I thought he didn't look the same kind of Joshua to me. But you got to give him benefit of the doubt. He's with a new coach again. It was like the third. So yeah, he's got maybe a little bit of time to adjust with the new coaches and new surroundings over there, and he comes back and he's much better once he's settled in over in Texas, because that can take a bit of time. So can't be too critical of him. But on that performance, I don't think he gets anywhere near Tyson Fury. I think Tyson Fury plays with him on that performance.
that was going to be my next question, Josh, because we've seen the post-fight interview and he asked the crowd who they want to see, and they all said Tyson, and he said Tyson Fury next. I think he said Tyson Fury in the press conference as well. And he says that there's been dialogue before. They've had the contract written up, so they're 50% there in that terms. But just what you said there, after that performance, you don't think Joshua's ready for Tyson Fury? Because as a selfish boxing fan, as a whore of a boxing fan, like you like to call me, I still want to see that fight no matter what. I want to see Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury.
Yeah, it is a big fight, but me personally, this is just me personally, in my own opinion. I think of that performance, I don't think that it's even a competitive fight of that performance. But I could be wrong, you're only as good as your last fight. That fight wasn't great for Joshua, but we know what he can do, and we know he can be dangerous, and we know he can be devastating, and when he puts the punches together in fast bunches and gets on that finisher streak, is when he sees you hurt, he'll go for you. He's a very good finisher. So if we get a good Joshua, a prime Joshua, it's a very, very good fight. Let's say it's like a 50-50 fight, but on that performance for me, I don't think if Fury fought him then next on that performance, I don't think it would be a competitive fight.
Does Joshua, that being said then, Josh, does Joshua need another fight, maybe a Dillian White fight, and then put in performance where he needs to make a statement against somebody like a Dillian White type fighter next, and then jump in with somebody like Tyson Fury?
I don't know. You need to ask Joshua that. I'm not too sure, but for me, like, you thought Franklin was sort of put in that position to make that statement. The choice of opponent was sort of made for him to make that statement. So I don't really know, but he maybe just needs a little bit of time to work with the new coach and develop with the new coach and get to know him as a person rather than a coach as well as a coach. So yeah, I think on that performance, I don't think he gets anywhere near Fury.
We'll talk about new coaches, Joe. Just do a nice little segue away from this fight. You're with a new coach in Joe McNally. You've yet to have a fight with Joe, so you're in that same sort of predicament or that same sort of scenario as a Joshua. But we've seen snippets of your Instagram. We've seen you hit the pads with Joe. So a two-part question here is, how's things going with Joe, and how's the injury? Because like I said, we've seen your Instagram posts. You're still doing a lot of pad work, but the thing I'm noticing is you're still not doing a lot of lateral movement. You're still not moving around Joe a lot. So how's the injury as well?
Yeah, the injury's coming on. We're still a long way from being 100%. We're just being overcautious, Andy. I probably could move around a little bit, but I don't want to push it too far too soon and then set myself back a couple of weeks or a number of weeks because I've hurt it or injured it a little bit again. So, it was quite a significant injury. So I really need to take my time with it. But it is going well. I'm back to boxing. I'm back to doing my S&C sort of stuff, just not really bouncing around too much. The impact sort of stuff now, which is the next phase is sort of rehab, is starting to build the strength up in it and build the flexibility and strength back up in the foot. So yeah, it's getting there. It's getting there though. I'm really happy where I am on my head of schedule. So but the only thing we really can't do is sort of jumping around and running at the minute. But there's plenty of ways to skin a cat to get fit. So we can alter our training, which we have been doing, which is really good. So yeah, I'm happy with the way it's going. And with Joe, it's going amazing. I've been coming down here since about probably the late end of October, September time. Come down for a week with Joe for a trial with him. Felt there was a wee bit too much people around, so I couldn't really get as much out of it what I was wanting. And then a couple of weeks later, I phoned them back up and asked them up to Scotland to have a week training with Scotland. And when we come up the road, we just hit it off. He stayed with me in the house for the week, and we got to know each other on a personal level. We sat and spoke at length about how we talk about things and each other's mentality, picking each other's brains. So I got to really know him as a person that week, and got a little bit closer with him. I got to know him, how his mind worked and how his personality is, and we just hit it off straight away. And that week we were flying in the gym, and I thought, right, this is it, man. This guy's brilliant on the pads as a coach, his mentality, his way of thinking. everything is just. I just thought this is brilliant. This is amazing. It's like I'm talking to an older version of myself in terms of mentality and things like that. So I just thought it was amazing. And then I've came back down here, and all the lads in the gym, they're just brilliant. You know, it's just I feel like I've known all the guys in the gym for years, as well as the boxers as well. Like, you know, Big Thomas and Liam and Callum and all that. Obviously, I know Callum and Thomas from my GB days, but all the rest of the lads, JJ and them all, and I feel like I've known them all for years. They've all been really welcoming, and all the lads, Declan as well as a coach. I feel like I've known them for years, so I've just really fitted in really well. So I took my time with making that decision, because it's a big decision, you know, and I took my time with it, and I feel I've made the right choice, and I'm really happy and settled where I am now. So yeah, I'm delighted with where I am, Andy.
Good, man. Like you mentioned there that there's more ways to skin a cat in terms of training and runs and stuff like that. You know, you can't run like that. And I guess you're happy because I done a circuit with Deco when I was down there, mate, and it'll probably be my last ever circuit I ever do with Declan. To be honest, man, I ain't doing that. There's no chance I'm doing them. It is like you say with Deco and Joe. They both sort of gel with each other in that sense as well. They're both a good tag team in terms of the coaching side. I mean, Deco is he's brilliant in terms of pushing the guys and getting the guys motivated to get the circuits in. You've got the tactical and technical side as well, and the hard work from both men seems to be on point. So give Deco a shout out as well, and Joe, because it seems to be working for you. Even Aston Brown seems to be enjoying it, because I know you brought your good friend Aston down there. He seems to be enjoying it as well down there. So yeah, Jim's flying at the moment with Liam Smith and JJ and all them guys, and Dan Till's there training away, I've seen as well. So the gym seems to be flying.
Yeah, it is. It's flying. It's a real good vibe. You know, it's just like they're all a little bit mental, which is great. I love it, because I fit right in. You know, they're all really friendly, ready to go. They'll do anything to help you. They'll go out the way to help you, do anything for you. But they're all a little bit mad, and it's brilliant, and I love it. You know, so the atmosphere in the gym is amazing, and other boxers the talent in the gym as well at the minute is unbelievable. So everybody's just bouncing off each other, and Joe and Declan make like you say, a great tag team. You know, Declan's the one that will push you to your limits. He's really very, very tough on you. He's very sort of military style with how we're getting the best out of you during your session and pushing you through your limits and stuff. Joe is the same. He'll push you to your limits, but he's a bit more technical, and he'll work on little nuances and stuff. But having said that, Declan is like that as well. I've been on the pads and Declan and stuff as well. Been working on little intricate moves, and the two of them they're just a brilliant tag team. So I'm absolutely delighted where I am, where I've landed, and the choice that I've made. I took my time to make that choice, and I've definitely made the right choice. That's for sure. I'll be seeing out the rest of my career in this gym, and the rest of my life. They'll be lifelong friends, I feel. So it's a really good choice I've made.
Well, Josh, listen, your first fight with Joe, it seems like it's going to be a huge fight. Now, there was talk about Teofimo Lopez. Like, again, I'm not privy to what goes on in terms of talks, but we're hearing Teofimo Lopez, Madison Square Garden, June. You said the injury's getting better. You probably can push it, but you want to be cautious. You're hitting pads again. How close are we to that fight? Is it still on the cards, Teofimo Lopez?
Yeah, it's looking like it's almost imminent of it being made. So, yeah, but I mean, I've signed the bout contracts and things like that. So, yeah, it's imminent. We're just waiting on the announcement and that coming, and it's over in America. So, back to the USA for myself, and I'm absolutely buzzing to get over there. This time I can take my friends, my family, and my fan base as well. So, it's going to be great. I'm looking forward to it. All the giants have boxed in Madison Square Garden, and this is a big fight as well. No matter what anybody says, like, this fight is a huge fight. Teofimo's a big name, a big name because his character and his sort of Marmite character as well. You could call me a Marmite character as well for the Mantics the last couple of years and stuff like that. So, it's a big fight, believe it or not, you know. So, I'm looking really forward to it, and he's been sort of shouting me out for a while now. So it's they'll have a bit of needle there in the lead up to the fight. So it's going to be good. I'm looking forward to it, Andy. I think it's a really tough fight as well. It can be a real. This has got the makings of being an absolute barnstormer of a fight in terms of stylistically, and you know, just the way he fights and the way I fight. It's got the potential to be an absolute explosive fight, you know, just bombs thrown, and one of us getting caught. And I think it could go early at some point as well. I really can see me getting him out there early, early doors. But obviously I won't be looking for it, but I can see me putting him on his backside.
Josh, obviously you talked about the needle, because like I can remember being out in Vegas when you were out there, and he was calling you out when you won undisputed against Ramirez, and that was what, 2 years ago now. But also I'm looking at the dynamics. You know me as the hooer that I am, I look at the dynamics. I look at his dad and I look at Joe McNally, because I've seen Joe pop a little bit sometimes as well. So I think if his dad starts his antics, I can see Joe McNally no backing down from that as well. So there's a good dynamics there as well in them two.
Yeah, Joe's definitely a fiery character as well. He's a kind of character, takes no shit. So that could definitely go off as well. But Joe's professional. Joe's very professional, but he's a no shit kind of character, and it takes no shit. If it's time to go, you'll let him know what time it is. That's for sure. I'm just looking forward to my dad meeting him as well. Like my dad. I'm looking forward to my dad meeting him as well. So that'll be funny. That'll be definitely entertaining.
Oh, Josh, you know what? You know I'll be there, mate. So don't worry, I'll be there as well, buddy. Yeah, I just want to touch on it a little bit here, because obviously Jack Catterall's now signed with Eddie Hearn and DAZN, and everyone's going to be talking about sort of that rematch. If he gets past this fight on May 27th, you get past Teofimo Lopez, it is you still going to be this talking point until the fight is made. But now that he's signed with Eddie Hearn and DAZN, and you're obviously with Top Rank, is that fight now even more difficult to get made?
I don't think so. I can't see why. I can't see why it'd be difficult to get made. But he's then going to be on his own course now. Obviously, he's fighting in May, I think, the 27th or something, was it? Yeah. So he's fighting in May, and then I saw that Eddie Hearn was looking up and getting another fight later on as well against another sort of top rank contender or whatever. So we'll see how it goes. I mean, we'll see how it goes. I'm not really too bothered, but I know for a fact that I want to fight him again. So I'm still in the prime of my year. There's still plenty of time to fight him. But right now, obviously, I'm focusing on Teofimo Lopez. But it will happen at some point. But I'm not going to sit and chase it while I've got a big fight in front of me right now. It's only 10 weeks away. So I made that mistake the last time. Looking forward to going up to welterweight to become a two-weight world champion when I had a fight right in front of me. So that was the mistake I made the last time. So I'll not be doing that again. But the fight, I think the fight was there regardless.
I did say that I was going to save the best till last now. Yesterday, we heard the sad news of a good friend of yours. I knew Kenny, but I didn't know him as well as you did. And Ken Buchanan passing yesterday. Just your initial thoughts when you heard the news, because being that the two of you shared a sort of kindred sort of brethren there, being the undisputed fighters, you both fought for the undisputed title away from home and won it and brought it back to Scotland, and he came to your house. There's a lot of history there between you and Kenny. Just tell me your thoughts and your sort of reaction to the news from yesterday.
I mean, I woke up, I saw it on Twitter actually. I can't remember who it was that put it up, but I saw it on Twitter that I rest in peace Ken Buchanan. I thought, oh no. So the first thing I did was phone Terry McCormack, my coach, to see if it was true, because there was a rumours a few months back, the late end of, or the mid last year, that he had passed away last year, and it wasn't true, which I found was really frustrated me that. So I phoned Terry straight away, but there was no answer. He must have been getting phone calls as well. So I ended up getting a few phone calls to the Scottish press and messages and things like that. So it obviously was confirmed straight away. So it was a bit sad. It was a bit sad. His last couple of years there, you could see that the little sort of decline in him with the dementia and stuff, you could see, which wasn't nice to see. But it was still funny. He was still there. He still had his wit and his charm and his charisma there, but you could see that he was getting a little bit more, sort of the dementia was taken there, which was sad. And I believe that he passed away in his sleep. So that's a good way to go as anybody for anybody to go. So he passed away peacefully in his sleep. But yeah, a sad day for Scottish and British history and sport. In my opinion, I know Scotland have had many great world champions, but for me, my personal opinion, for me, he was the greatest Scottish boxer that's ever lived. just the way he done it, his charisma, his character, his style of boxing, and who he fought as well, and the way he done it as well, the fashion in which he done so as well, and got these titles. So for me, he was the best Scottish boxer ever.
Yeah, Josh, and like I was talking to some people today, and I was saying that in 69 fights that Ken Buchanan had, he only fought in Scotland 4 times, 2 in Paisley, 1 in Hamilton, and 1 in Glasgow. Never fought in Edinburgh as a professional, which is insane. Like you say, he was a proper road warrior. When road warriors is like a big thing now, he was the ultimate one. Laguna and Panama, Duran. He fought them all away from home. He jumped on he was far away from home as well, so there was no fans there backing him as well back in them days. So. And you mentioned the stories and the stuff he had. I can remember a story, me, you, and a couple of other boys in the gym in Lochend, and we were doing sort of like mad circuit type things. And Kenny came in and he's like, "What the fuck are you doing this for? Get army boots on and run up Arthur's seat." He didn't understand the sort of the plyometric stuff and all the different stuff that we were doing. So he was old school. Hit a bag, spar, run up a hill with army boots. That was his training.
He was proper old school, and he used to come into the gym all the time in Lochend, and come in and sort of, I'd be in the pads with Terry or whatever, or whacking away at the bags, and come in and he'd show me, and he'd stick on his mitts and show me the bags and work away, do this and move, and how to move. And I used to just sit and love listening to his wisdom and his wealth of experience and his stories, and just amazing, just an amazing guy. The life that he led was just amazing, inspirational. So he was just a great all-round great guy. He gave me so much advice over the years, how to live my life and how to train and how to apply yourself in the gym and outside the ring. And just an amazing guy, you know. And I take great pleasure in, you know, he used to come to the gym and say, "You can be world champion one day, son." And then I went and won the title against Baranchek, and he come to my house to congratulate me, and we had a cup of tea and showed him my belts, and he gave me a scarf. That was after the Baranchek fight, and then after the Prograis fight, I come back with I'd unified the titles, and he come back to my house again, my mum and dad's house. We sat down and had tea and coffee and all that, and he gave me his Buchanan tartan scarf that I've got draped around the Ali trophy that I've still got a scarf and that sitting there. And he says, "I'm telling you, son, I've told you for years that you become world champion. You're going to do it." And then I says, "I've got the next fight, a big fight against Ramirez in Las Vegas. Hopefully, I'm going to be like you and go over there, win the titles, and bring them back." And he says, "I always told you could do it, son, and you could do it, son." And then I went away and done it, beat Ramirez, come back, and he come back to my house after Vegas. He says, "I always told you could do it, son. Well done." And we sat there for about an hour, but that was the last time I saw him. But that was when you could see he was a little bit he was starting to suffer a little bit from the dementia, which was sad. And that was the last time I saw him. So I says, "Look, champ, I done it. I'm just like you." And he gave me a cuddle and that. So it's really, for me, that's a really, really proud moment in my life, in my career, to say that I done it just like him and followed in his footsteps. So yeah, I'm very proud of that fact, and honoured just to have the same titles as him. You know, I'll never be as great as him or anywhere near it. I don't even want to be mentioned in the same breath as him, but I'm just honoured that I can have the same titles as him and say I've done it just like him.
Josh, that's what stands out for me as well, is just when you came back from Vegas, and I think the quote that sticks around with us is when he did come to your house and you said, "Look, champ, I'm just like you." I think that's the quote that's just, especially in my mind when I was thinking about the stories you were telling there. I was thinking I was going to mention that if you missed it, but like that's the quote that stands out for me is, "Look, champ, I'm just like you." And that's something special, because Ken Buchanan was spoke about from my granddad when he died up until he was 70-odd-year-old. So Ken Buchanan was a hero even for like the older generation up until they were 70 plus. So
yeah,
but it's a sad times for just not Scottish boxing, but British boxing and world boxing, because Kenny done it the hard way and he proved it. So sad times, man. But Josh, listen, I said I'll save the best for last. I saved it for Ken Buchanan, but I do appreciate your time as always, mate. On this Sunday evening, you're probably going to get up at early doors tomorrow and get back to the gym and train. So, Josh, as always, I appreciate your time, mate, and I'll see you in New York.
No worries, Andy. I see you there, mate. I'm looking forward to it, and we'll go and do it again, have another good time. It's going to be great. I'm looking forward to it.
Definitely, Josh. Cheers, mate. I appreciate everything, Josh. See you soon, mate.
Bye.
Bye,
Right,
mate.
Andy,
Bye-bye.
mate.
Bye-bye.
Nice.
Refuse to not be first.
Do we do enough? Well, I never shut up about it.
It must have been about 16, 17. We nicked their guilt rings. Right, the bouncer's guilt ring.
This is no good for me. That's the reality. If you want the honest truth, and I see it every day,